Dear sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum. I pray that you are well, inshallah. I want to once more thank all of you for coming and giving me the opportunity to speak to you. Many thanks to Dar and its volunteers. Many thanks to the amazing reciter of Quran, our lovely youth with their talks. Many thanks to everyone, honestly, people downstairs giving us coffee. I had one, it was too strong. So please forgive me if the talk tonight is a little bit caffeinated. The past few nights we've started a discussion. At its core, we were talking about this idea that Islam is a beautiful idea on how to make the world a better place, how to live a life that is experienced as a gift. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. It doesn't mean those who have received blessings, because everyone in this world has received blessings. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم is the path of those who realize life is a gift. Otherwise, God is giving blessings to every single person. But I was saying that Islam, the path of the Prophet, the path of Ahl Bayt, or Quran, is not a set of words we can believe in and think we have it. It's a reality in the heart. No matter how much of the actions we do or the words we memorize or come Muharram, remember Imam Hussein, if that light is not in our heart, it doesn't matter. We're not 1 inch closer to where we need to be. One good way of understanding if we are getting closer to Islam, to the path of Ahl Bayt, to the Quran, is do you feel like you're feeling safer in life? Safinatun Najah. This one concept has been explained even in the Quran, many ahadith. In the Quran says what? لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. If you want to know if you're getting closer to God, to truth, to Islam, look inside. Are your fears getting less? Is your pain getting less? If not, that may be a fake version of Islam, of which many versions exist. There's one true one and a million fake ones. The fake ones promise you everything, but after 10 years, you look at your life, you're like, nothing changed. I still get angry, I'm still hurt, I'm still worried for my children. Sometimes I still shout, we still have fights, my children are anxious. All these salats, all this Quran, what did it do? But in the real one, very soon you feel like I'm stepping into a new way of understanding the world. I'm going through situations where before I would be so scared, now I go through them like it's not even getting to me. This is a very important thing. Even in the Quran, there's this verse where a group of people are listening to the Prophet those early years. They don't even believe this guy is a prophet. But they say something very interesting. They say, we heard Qur'anan ajaba. We heard strange things from this person who claims to be a prophet. And the next verse is so beautiful. It says, when we listen to him, it seems like it guides us towards some form of growth. It makes us feel like we can be more than where we are right now. It opens up possibilities inside us. In another, well, this was a verse of Quran, we have a hadith, the Imam says, if you want to know what you hear is from us or one of those fake versions, see what does it do to your heart. If it's from ours, it should make you feel alive again. It should revive your heart. You go to the world, you watch the news, you see what's happening in your neighborhood, you look at life, it makes you feel like life is suffocating, it's so difficult, there's so much darkness out there. When you come to us, you should find something that helps you not only survive all of that, thrive in the face of that. Not only the darkness of the world shouldn't get you stuck in a hard heart, wanting to escape here and there. Let me change my country to feel better. Let me do this. Let me go there. Maybe if we do this, maybe if we do that. It says you're doing so much to feel safe. Safety doesn't come from the external world. Go to any country you want. Have any job you want. Have anything you want. Safety comes from your heart. You can be in any country in the world, any life you want. At night, it's your heart that says we're not safe. If you're looking for safety, you need to realize your heart is very powerful. It's just you've forgotten yourself. Ahl Bayt say, we can revive your heart again. Now in Muharram, it is another opportunity for us to come and revive our heart. But for us to revive our heart, we can't make Hussein like us. Our understanding of Imam Hussein, if it looks exactly like me, how can it revive my heart? If I get angry when someone hurts me and Hussein gets angry when someone hurts him, what's the difference between us? Instead of coming to Muharram to become like him, we brought him down. Now this year we're trying to try something else. Let us put them back where they are and we go there too. And it is very possible. You are so powerful. I know so much of what we've discussed in the past few nights may seem so inaccessible, but it's not. The only reason right now many of us may feel like I don't have that safety, it's because no one told you it's possible. It's only a few nights that you've realized even your own Ahl Bayt had it. It's not inaccessible. We just never wanted it. We never even knew it's possible. If our Imam Ali was angry, what hope was there for us? If Hussein on the day of Ashura is sad, how can I not be sad? If Lady Khadija is sad in those final years next to the Prophet, what hope is there for us? So these things are not inaccessible. It's just that we never even imagined them. How many of you, honestly, when you think about the final years of Lady Khadija, were told it was very difficult, it was so sad? How many times were we told that, no, if there was one person in this world who had the most fun was Lady Khadija? How can you be next to the Prophet and not have fun? Who cares if we don't have food? Muhammad is next to you. Please recite salawat. Many people are saying, oh, I can't wait to go to heaven and go next to Imam Ali, go next to the Prophet. Khob Khadija was next to the Prophet. Why would she be upset? They haven't told us how amazing the experience of these personalities were. Yeah, on the surface, there's hunger. On the surface, there's wounds of the sword. On the surface, there's so much. Who cares? Imam Hussein says, فَكَأَنَّ الدُّنْيَا لَمْ تَكُنْ وَالْآخِرَ لَمْ تَزَلْ. Says all of this thing you call dunya, to us it's like a dream. Even to you is a dream. Quran says anyone who leaves this world, Afterwards, they asked them, how long were you there? They said, a day or two, a very short time, few hours. Now the Prophet Ahl Bayt came, why are you waiting to leave this dream to realize it's a dream? In this world, wake up. All of your problems and worries finishes. It's not inaccessible. Wallah, it's not. If it wasn't, I wouldn't give you false hope. Think about it. You're watching a movie. I really want you to answer this question in your mind. You're watching a movie, the characters are going through so much pain. There's a character who has an illness. There's a character who another character is hurting him. You're watching this movie and you really care about these characters. What's the quickest way you can help them? Think about it. You're watching a movie. There are some characters you care about. Some of them has an illness. Some of them are getting hurt by other people. What is the fastest way to get them out of their pain? Well, مثلا you can think, let me put a movie, a doctor in the movie to go and help the character who has an illness. There's so much things you can do within the movie. But I would say the fastest thing is to go to all of the characters and be like, this is a movie, it's not real. Realize this is a movie, all of your pain suddenly goes into another world. Now, if, for example, tonight you see a dream, and in the dream, a person comes and steals all of your gold. All of your gold, even your iPhone, everything. This thief steals everything. It feels awful. But in the morning when you wake up, you're like, you took the wrong gold. Those were the fake ones. You were in a world that cannot even touch me. You were in my dream. It's all gone. The fastest way to feel safe from that thief is to realize, you're in a dream world. You're in a world cannot even touch me. Now, Ahl Bayt say all of this is like that. This is a dream. You belong somewhere else. You're a soul. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Just in your own perception, you've come to this dream. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ السَّافِلِينَ. You haven't even come here really. You just think you're here. That's what Imam Hussein says. كَأَنَّ الدُّنْيَا لَمْ تَكُنْ. It's as if it never existed. Think about it. Where's our childhood? Where's our childhood now? Doesn't it feel like a story? Where did all those years go? Now when we look at it, can I look anywhere in this world and find my childhood? Where did it go? It's gone. 10 years later, this moment will be gone. Where is it? So Ahl Bayt say, don't wait 10 years later to realize this moment is a dream. If you realize this, all of your pain finishes. Later on, I'll talk more about how can we get there. All I want from you now is to at least accept this is possible. Not only possible, some people are living there. Some people are going around the world finding some safety. Some people have realized the dream, they're very safe. So when they come back to the dream, they're only there to help others. That's all I've been saying. Ahl Bayt's safety is from a different place. You can get there too with God. Everything is there. So when you come back to the dream, these 20, 30, 40 years we're still here, you're only here to serve other people. That's why no matter what they do to you, it doesn't hurt you because you're like, I'm not even here. On the day of Ashura, the companions of Ahl Bayt say, we don't even feel the swords. You're hitting a body, that's not me. It's not even that crazy. Even in the Quran, magicians of Pharaoh said the same. Pharaoh told them, I'll cut your hand, I'll cut your leg. They said, do whatever you want. We're somewhere else. This is a body. It's a gift of God through which we're experiencing life. One day this gift will go to the grave. We'll continue our journey. That body in the grave is not who we are. The moment you realize this, oh wow. The fastest way you can make the people of the world feel better is to help them realize this. The one who's getting hurt will have some courage, and the one who's hurting and will realize, Baba, why are you hurting others? You're looking for something that you already have. So you help two groups at the same time. If we don't do this, what happens? If you're not on that safinatun najah, if you're not that safe when you come back to the world, you can't act selflessly. You take sides. You get hurt, you become oppositional. Now, someone may say, what's wrong with getting oppositional? The problem is when you act like that in the world, you can never make the world a better place. Even with the best of intentions, your resentment, your anger will come, ruin the work. A lot of people may not accept that. Thank you so much. Every generation wants to try it again. Even after, for example, what happened on Ashura, a lot of people suddenly woke up from their guilt. Many people are like that. They don't care about anything in their life. I'm not judging them. It's insan, beautiful. They don't care about anything. For 20 years, suddenly, one moment they care, and they care so much. They want to finish everything in 1 month. This has been a story of insan for thousands of years. Just like after Ashura, a people who didn't care about Hussein when he was alive, the moment he was killed, they were like, no, we need to get revenge. We need to fix the world. What's the way to fix the world? They said revenge. Imam Sajjad says, no, that's not the way. If you get revenge, you kill so many people, they have children, you're adding resentments. Even in the fact of killing, you change yourself. Even if you get rid of these people, by the end of it, you don't know who you've become. So there's two possibilities. Either you become a monster yourself, which has happened so many times in history. I know now grandchildren of people who 2 generations ago, with so much great intentions, they thought, we'll change the world. They got rid of the people they thought are the problem. They brought the problem down. 2 generations later, their own grandchildren are saying, now you're the problem. We don't want you. In 2 generations, they became worse than the group they were trying to remove. So as long as we think the problem are real people in the world, not what's in their heart, that ignorance in their heart, that cruelty, that greed, which are all illnesses that need to be removed, and also there's an exact copy of that in our heart as well. By the time you get rid of them, there's so much in your own heart. Weren't there a whole group who in the name of Ahl Bayt uprised against the rulers of the time? By the time they took power, they were even worse to the Ahl Bayt themselves. They started uprising in the name of Ahl Bayt at the time of the Imams. But they hurt the Imams way more than the people they put down. As it shows that as long as you're not in that place of safety, the same illness in there, your enemy is in your heart too. By the time you get rid of them, you yourself may become a monster. Oh, Hassan, you don't become a monster. Hope all of those people you got rid of, where did they go? Where do their children go? Their friends go? They will now get ready to bring you down. It's going to be we bring them down, they bring us down. And it's going to be like this, and it has been like this from the beginning of history till now. This group brings that one down, they bring these ones down. They bring that one, and it goes on and on and on and on and on, and every generation wants to try it again from the start. If you just go and read history of all the people who with beautiful intentions made one mistake. They thought the problem of the world are real people instead of realizing the problem is ignorance in the heart. So many people with good intentions have destroyed the world up to now. And even today, many people want to follow the same prescription. In the middle of all of this, Ahl Bayt Islam and the later prophets come and offer another way. Insan, the problem of the world is ignorance. That ignorance manifests in 1,000,000 ways. And they even give us some beautiful practical tips. At any point, if you think you're better than someone, that path, give yourself 20 years, will make the world much worse place. The Quran says, the Ahl Bayt say, anytime you find inside yourself an inch of kibr, whatever you do in the world, you will see. Give it 20 years, give it 30 years, will only make the world the worst place. You may have a short success, but that short success will be followed by something much worse. Because that kibr is a monster you're adding to the world. They've given us so many of these tips. One of the, for example, problems in not coming to the world to heal from a place of safety is that in your effort to show something is truth, you may have even found something which is really true. You want to go and share it with people. But because there's so much anger inside you, the way you share the truth polarizes the world. You may bring some people towards yourself, but you push some people further in the falsehood that you don't want. Many people right now, in their effort to bring people towards the truth, they do it in a way that brings masalan 5% towards them, but guarantees that another 40% would never listen to them. Well, what do you want to do with a world in which you have made some people so defensive against the truth? What is your view of the future? Where would those people go? You think those people are not organizing against you? You think those people will sit like cabbages waiting for you to do whatever you want? They are also not trying to get against you. Okay, 5% more people on your side. What about all the people on the other side? What's your plan with them? Like, hope all of them needs to go. Do you know what you're talking about? In what world is that a reality? Asan, is that a good reality? Do you see the monster you're already becoming? If that many people to you are the problem, that is a dangerous idea. That is the dangerous way of understanding the world. You're setting yourself against millions of people. Now, it's so interesting. Musa has a team he has worked with. They've gone through so much. Prophet Musa, this beautiful prophet of God, this beautiful, it's like he's just so inspiring. He goes for a short time. He comes back, my people are worshipping a cow, golden cow. He's like, Harun, his brother Harun was with them. He's like, Harun, I come back, people worshipping a cow. What is going on? There's something in Harun says which is so powerful. You know what he says? He says, don't get mad at me. I realized if I want to solve the situation, I don't have your ability to convince everyone. There would be a division. It says, baby, I thought it's better if they worship a golden cow than if in my effort to tell them it's wrong, I create division. Why? Because when things get polarized, when there's division, again, no one cares about the truth. Everyone just sees what they want to see. So I thought, let me wait for you to come. It's better to have people who are worshiping a cow than people who are divided. So this is so important. And Prophet Musa says, yes, well done. That makes sense. In your effort to share the truth, if you make people defensive in their falsehood, you just push that person deeper into darkness. You push that ignorance in their heart deeper inside. Hala, who can get that out? You may say, I convinced 10 people, but you also made another 1,000 people more difficult to convince. So Ahl Bayt say, we come here to remove this ignorance in a way that doesn't make people defensive. that doesn't make people divisive. When people get defensive, they can no longer see the truth. And at the same time, don't you want more people to accept what you say? Don't you want your efforts to give more fruits? Haven't you tried that method for thousands of years? Because maybe someone may say this method of Ahl Bayt and Prophet, how do we know it works? I'm like, hope you tried the alternative for thousands of years. Did that work? Is the world now in a good place? The method of the Prophet was never tried. Imam Sadiq says even at the time of Imam Sadiq, there weren't even 17 people ready to try their method. I'm saying, is it not enough trying everything else to make the world a better place, and every generation gives it to the other generation much worse? So this way of the Ahl Bayt is actually very practical. It's the only way to get the world to a safe place, to make sure everyone is safe, to make sure no one is hurt. And all along, you also feel okay. All along, while you're making the world a better place, you also don't feel like I'm carrying all the burden of the world on my shoulder. You don't feel like this is an awful life, because you're doing all of that from a place of safety. So as you're trying to make the world a better place, your children wouldn't be like, why are mommy and daddy so hurt, so tired? So many people now, beautiful souls, trying to make the world a better place, are breaking under the weight of that pressure. They feel burnt out, obviously, because first get on Safinatun Najat, then come make the world a better place. If you feel you're breaking down, you're burning out under the weight of pressure, it means your method is not accurate. In the accurate one, no matter how much pressure they put on you, you don't feel anything. You can carry the weight of the whole world on your shoulder and still not feel tired or burnt out. That is Shia. That is Islam. Everything else is a distraction. No matter who says it, no matter in what book it's written. Please recite the salawat. I also want to thank many of you who, after yesterday's talk, reached out to me because I said, please let me know how this is coming across. I'm fully aware that a lot of what I'm saying may go against a million things you've heard. And I want you to know that I love if you ask questions, if you, whatever is in your heart, let me know. And many beautiful souls reached out after last night, questions, points. One of the things that came up, and I thought it's good to address that, so in the time I've got left, I want to mention this tonight. I think in order to get to that beautiful place of Ahl Bayt, that Safinatun Najat, where nothing in this life touches you, illness, disability, whatever, nothing, cost of living crisis, nothing gets to you. You are living from a place of safety, enjoying, and you're back to actually save the world. If we want to get there, the main block between us and there is our understanding of the world. Don't think now, for example, you need to go and do Salatul Layl to get there, or read Quran every day to get there. No, the way is there's blocks in our mind, in our understanding. There are certain things we have been told. As long as we hold on to them, it blocks us from getting there. That's what I've been trying to talk about. Another one of these blocks in our understanding is that last night I said a prophet of God, an imam, never gives up on people. A lot of us in this world, you may see there's this car, it's like in use for 30 years, they write it off. You're no longer good for the roads. You yourself may be a creative person, do calligraphy, this one's not good, you throw it away. God says, I haven't created anything that's awful that I would write it off. God says, I'm a good creator. Anything I've created has a stamp of Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. It may right now seem to you like it has a million problems. Yeah, I'm still working on it. I haven't finished. It's like, imagine you go to an artist who's making pottery. His hands are very full of clay. The whole room is full of dust. And he's like, what is this thing you're making? He says, wait, I haven't finished. You're like, there's dirt everywhere. There's clay. Look at your hand. Look at your clothes. I haven't finished. Let me give it a few more spins. Then you'll see what a beautiful vase I've made. God says when you look at the world, no matter what, see, I've created it. Even if it looks awful now, it's not a finished job yet. Don't give up on them. I'm not going to give up on anyone. God says, do you think you yourself are finished yet? You're not finished either. Oh, you're much more beautiful than you think. This is just the beginning of your journey. So the prophets, the imams, especially later prophets, because prophets also grew, we'll talk about it. The imams, when they look at anyone in the world, they'll be like, now you may be in so much dirt, but what can I do? Your spirit is from God. It's beautiful. I need to save it. They would never give up on anyone. Now, someone was asking this question, but how come in the Quran we know that some prophets gave up on their people? I was like, that's a very good question. We know there has been previous prophets whose nation experienced something that unfortunately in our mind they have put as God's punishment. We're like, see, God gave up on those people. People of Lut, people of this, people of that. Now I want to say again, this is one of those cases where you were unfortunately told wrong. I mean, don't think because a million people say something, all of them have fault. Unfortunately, when it comes to religion, 99% of things is copy-pasting. Not just that, another problem we have when it comes to religion, if in someone's heart, they're ready to give up on people, they go to the Quran. When the verses are against that, they don't even see, move on. Quran says many people come to me, but because their heart, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ, or their hearts have locks. Quran says many people come to me with heart that have locks, so they miss so many verses they don't even realize. Now I'll give you a few verses to explain this. Those things that, for example, happen to the people of Lut are not God's punishment. It may even in the Quran be attributed to the God, because in the Quran everything's attributed to God. God says, I've created this world. Even if, for example, you don't brush your teeth and your teeth gets spoiled or there's a problem with it, God says, I've created the world in this way. But doesn't mean I did it. You didn't brush your teeth. But in the Quran, because it has a Tawheedi worldview, everything's attributed to God. But in the Quran, God makes it very clear what Lut did was not what I wanted. I'll share the verses with you, and then you yourself judge. How come no one told you this? Or maybe because whenever we went to the Quran, we never had love of people in our heart. If you don't have the love of people in your heart, you miss this verse. Before I read that verse for you, I want to first explain to you what are these things in the Quran. First, we need to talk about this concept of consequences of actions to get there. Or if I, let's say as a father, become so busy at work, please pay attention to this, by the way, it will really remove one of the blocks we have. If I as a father become so busy at work, I stop paying attention to my family and children. What is going to happen? Initially, my family may be patient, my children may be patient, but slowly, I will see, my children are getting cold with me. I haven't spent so much time with them. Now when I ask them, how are you? They're like, whatever. They don't want to talk to me. Before they would wait when it was dinner time for me to come, now they eat and go. I get busy at work, don't pay attention to them. What's the consequence of that? They start growing colder. They're not that interested in sharing things with me. Now let me give you another example. Let's say I get so busy, not only I don't pay attention to my children, I stop paying attention to the house. What will happen? There's going to be spider webs around the house, you haven't cleaned it, the carpet gets messy, there's going to be so much hair there. Some of the doors may be stopping working, the weed in the garden is growing. What does that mean? I'm not paying attention here, so much is happening in my world. The house is falling apart, children are growing cold, and I haven't even had any bad intention, I just stopped caring. Now imagine on top of this, I also go and abuse my children. What's going to happen? Even worse consequences. Action, consequences. Now, Quran says there are so many actions you do that makes the world the worst place. Some of it is physical things like that. Some of it is your anger, hurting your parents. If you hurt your parent in the same way that if you don't clean the house, spider webs grows everywhere, that anger does something to the world. That darkness you add hurts the world. Now, there's a lot of times where you may hurt your parent, but nothing may happen to you. Why? Because when you break her heart, you've added darkness in the world. But if she loves you, says she heals herself, so the darkness goes away. I remember when I was younger, a few times I made my dad so angry, and he immediately went away. I asked Mom, where did he go? She said, he's going to pray for you because you put darkness in the world. He doesn't want that to come back, hit back you. He went there to pray to heal that darkness. Many times I remember I would hurt my dad and he would pray for me. Because he knew I put darkness in their world, it's going to come back to me. Prophets did the same. Imagine the amount of dhulm, nonsense people would do. They would hurt each other, hurt the prophets. They would put so much darkness in the world. And the prophets were like fathers and mothers of that community. They would like, oh, I'll take this darkness and heal it. I take this. They were almost like a dam holding all the actions of people so they don't face the consequences of what they've done. There's a verse in the Quran that says if you were to face the consequences of your actions, no one would survive on the face of the earth. Do you know how many hearts we've broken, how many times we've shouted at little children, poor things, how much we've put darkness in the world, how much worries, how much bringing people down, how much negativity, how much negative comments. Prophets would be acting like a dam holding to all of that so it wouldn't reach back to us. Allah, earlier prophets at some time, after the tens of years of getting hurt, and would give up. Like Lut gave up. So I can't take it. It's not that I wish bad for you. I just can't hold on to your darkness anymore. He would go out of the way, the consequences would hit the person. Like a mother who says, you hurt me so much, I kept trying to not allow my heart to break. Now my heart broke. But what is beautiful about the Quran is that as prophets grew in their closeness to God, they became so strong they would never get out of the way. So there's a story in the Quran when Ibrahim hears about what is happening to people of Lut. He says, Lut, you made a mistake. يُجَادِلُنَا فِي Lut. Ibrahim says, Lut, you gave up. But in this story, do you know whose side God takes? God takes the side of Ibrahim. إِنَّهُ حَلِيمٌ أَوَّاهٌ مُنِيبٌ. God says, Ibrahim is more like me. Ibrahim is like, I would never give up on people. Lut is beautiful soul. We give up on people much easier. Lut carried for so many years, at some point he broke. But Ibrahim, God says, wouldn't have given up. إِنَّهُ حَلِيمٌ. God says he has my helm inside him. Our Prophet is like that. Our Prophet has a hadith. It says there were so many previous prophets who gave up. I will never give up on you. I will never give up on you. God says, do you know how much my helm is? Imam explains in Abu Hamza Somali, Alhamdulillah alladhi yahlumu anni ka'anni la dhanba li. God says, my helm with all of you is as if you've never done anything wrong. Ibrahim felt that way towards you. Muhammad felt that way towards you. Hussein now feels that way towards you. This Abu Hamza Somali, whose dua we read in the month of Ramadan, has a hadith which is so crazy. It says after Lut gave up, Ibrahim was upset for so long. God was like, how can I cheer Ibrahim up? This Qawm Lut in the Quran, who had to face the consequences of their actions, Ibrahim wasn't like, oh, you deserved it. There's a hadith of Imam Baqir that says Ibrahim was so upset, God had to tell him, I'll give you a child so you get some energy. What else is God saying? God saying, Ibrahim, you're the only person till now that gets me. I want more of your lineage. These are the beauties which exist within our Quran, and so far we haven't had. If we are going to give up on people, we miss out on all these verses. But your Imam Baqir says Ibrahim was upset what happened to the Qawm of Lut. And God loved that about Ibrahim. God says, I will never give up on any of you. Alhamdulillah alladhi yahlumu anni ka'anni la dhanba li. God says, I love you so much, I'm so much halim towards you, as if you've never done anything. If you want, I can take you to a place where you become like that. Imagine, forget about the world. If we have this helm with our own partners, with our own parents, for a second, forget about the problems of the world. So much of our lives are because of the problems we have with our own families. Divorce rates, issues with parents, between cousins. God says, Baba, let me take you to a place where no one gets to you. You enjoy your family members. This is what is available on a night like this. And inshallah, may God, again, let's keep asking to soften our heart in the moments of masa'ib, as we listen to our beautiful, beautiful mullah who recites with his divine voice and takes us to beautiful places. Let us prepare our heart with a salawat.